Good evening, call center aspirants. Welcome to your Wednesday habit, Torch Unplugged. Welcome to the 8th episode of Torch Unplugged. Wow, it's already been 8 episodes, and we are so happy that you joined us this far. And for tonight's episode, may mga nagbabalik na naman. We again have Sir Norbs and his team. Hi Norbs and team. Please feel free to greet our listeners.
Hi. Yes, good evening, call center aspirants, and good evening, Sir Norbs as well. Thank you for having me once again. Please allow me to say hi to my guest and eventually representative from Arcastillo. Hi there, and hi to JFL the Amor from UM as well, and especially to Jean Marteja from St. who's listening right now. Hi to you there.
Alright, thank you so much. And maybe call center aspirants and evening, gentlemen. Nice to be back. And please allow me to say hi to my family and friends, especially my Marie, my Baba, and Jen.
Wow, sana all. My special someone. Anyway, thank you for joining me once again. So glad to have you here with me in and on. Before we proceed, let us do a quick recap now of our previous episodes. If you have noticed, the theme of the podcast since episode 1 is all about giving free interview tips to our dearest aspirants. We were able to cover the different steps from the initial interview, online assessment, down to the final interview.
Yes, right, Sir Jazz. And we were also able to discuss the proper phone etiquette during phone interviews and even the prerequisites and the things to consider before applying for a BPO job.
Wow, that's great. And yeah, we are able to cover a lot of things since the final episode. And I am so excited of the next topic. For sure, this is going to be another productive Wednesday for all of us. And so, aspirants, stay tuned till the end of the podcast and get ready to learn.
Speaking of which, for tonight, we will be talking about a very important skill during the interview and even when you were working as a call center agent. I'm sure Sir Norben will agree with me on this one, and that is active listening skills. Why do you think this skill is important? This skill is clearly important to every conversation because a concern will not be addressed properly if the message is not properly received. And this too is equally important during interviews.
Yes, I would affirm you on that, Sir Jazz. Active listening skills is really important, especially working as call center agent, because you will not be able to assist your customer well if you have not understood or understand the concern in the first place, right? For example, the customer is asking for a refund, but the resolution you are giving is about how to place their orders. So imagine the frustration the customer will have and the dissatisfaction rate is the last thing you would want to ask a call center agent.
Exactly.
Yeah, and for that very reason, Forbes, interviewers are really strict when it comes to active listening skills. So even if you have a good communication skills, it does not automatically mean that you might have a good active listening skills. So how would you improve your active listening skills?
Great question. Thank you for that one, Christine. First, we have to understand what active listening is. It is the act of fully hearing and comprehending the meaning of what someone else is saying. In other words, it is listening and understanding at the same time. It seems a bit complicated, right? But it isn't actually. The key to exercise your active listening is to focus. Focus on what the interviewer and hopefully the customers or clients is saying.
Yes, definitely. Yes, focus. That is very good point, Sir Jazz. It is really easier for us to space out, lalo na kung kinakabahan tayo. And during interviews, it is really hard for us to focus. So, aspirants, it is really important to empty your cup during interviews. Do not think of other things. Focus on the interview. Look at your interviewer. Listen and comprehend. If you weren't able to heart the question well, on the first time, it's okay to ask. You can just simply say, I'm sorry I wasn't able to hear you well earlier. Or do you mind me repeating the question? It is better to say than sorry, right?
Yes, definitely. I would agree that it's not easy to focus, especially with the interview is done by a group, which is really common. So one more thing to remember is to still listen, even if it's not your turn. Be invested in the conversation, but not too invested that you will interrupt. And speaking of which, in every questions, make sure to let the interviewer finish first to be first before better grasp the idea of the question.
Great points, guys. And one more thing to do to make sure that you able to really listen and respond accordingly is to also listen with your whole body. As Norben mentioned earlier, look at your interviewer, especially when it's your turn for the QA. Okay, you should look them properly or directly in the eyes. You should sit properly. Do not look around the room, and also be mindful of your other non-verbal cues. So iwasan natin yung baga yung shuffling of feet or yung hands. So just be calm lang, just be professional, and again be mindful of your non-verbal cues or your body language. Again, focus is a must.
Yes, mahirap talaga kapag hindi na nagkakaintindihan, right? So again, let me reiterate that listening is different from active listening. And it is very important skill when applying for a call center job, which is equally as important as good verbal communication skills.
Yes. And yeah, I think we were able to discuss all prerequisites. May nakakalimutan pa ba tayo?
I think wala naman, but before we end, I would like to invite you all to come join us for tomorrow. We have the job fair in NCC Mall Buhangin. Again, it's going to be August 25, NCC Mall Buhangin. Early registration or online registration is already ongoing, and for tomorrow, early registration will start at around 7 a.m. And you can look for a booth. That's going to be Torch Solutions or Talent Outsourcing Channel Solutions. We hope to see you there. And yeah, I think that's a wrap. Thank you once again for joining us tonight, Ms. Lee and Rex. I hope, and for our call center aspirants, I hope you will have new ideas from tonight's episode. So thank you once again, Norms and Lee, for joining me tonight. See you again next week, and hopefully you'll also be able to join us for the following weeks. Once again, this has been Jasper.
And this is Norms.
And this is Ian.
Now
signing off.